Welcome back to the Broad Street Benchwarmers podcast. My name is Adam Den. Eighth Maleviditis here with me. And we are here coming to you right before, what is this, week 8?
Yeah,
Week
we can.
7? Week 8 for our NFL power rankings. I mean, we've been watching all these games. We're halfway through the season. Just giving you what we're feeling about all 32 teams. Obviously, ours not doing fantastic, but give us a little content right here.
Yeah,
But do you want to start us off?
yeah.
We're
So,
going in 8, so 32-24, blah, blah, blah,
alright.
blah.
So at the bottom, obviously the Jets, no wins. I mean, they kind of contain the Bills' offense, but it's not saying a lot because as a Devin Singletary owner, he's been terrible all season. So
Yep.
not much to say. 31 Jaguars got dotted up by Justin Herbert, but I mean every team is. But I mean, not that good to say. Minshew's hurt, I think, so not good. The Giants lost to Richard Rodgers and the Eagles, so they're at 30. 29, the Texans. Free Deshaun Watson, free J.J. Watt, free everybody. They're not a good team at all. 28, Falcons, classic, like a 99% win probability loss to the Lions. 27, we got the Bengals. I know they they're not a good team. But 27 is low, so it's not complete. They've been in games. Their defense just choked against Baker. So I mean, I don't hate them. Vikings at 1-5, we're on bye. So I mean, so far they've been very disappointing. But yeah, same with number 25, the Cowboys, who lost to the football team. And they're starting Ben DiNucci against us this week, so can't wait for that. I mean, I really hope that.
I can win.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but at 24, I got the Broncos at 2-4. The Chiefs' defense just completely destroyed them, and yeah, the
Right?
Broncos. I got another type train that's disappointed me. So you can go
Yeah,
through your
we
33
stressed that
24.
a little too much. All right. So, I mean, I pretty much got the same, similar at the bottom. 32 are the Jets. They are an embarrassment, honestly. I mean, the Le'Veon Bell handling, all of that. Darnold, I mean, you can defend him all you want. He's been terrible too. So, yeah. Jags at 31. I was pleasantly surprised when they beat the Colts week 1. Haven't looked fantastic since. I wouldn't say disappointing, but is what it is. Giants obviously lost to us. Evan Ingram blowing the game. I think, in this NFC East, technically they still have a chance, but that just says a lot about our division. 29, Houston, very disappointing. I love Deshaun Watson. I thought he was going to be an MVP contender. Just stuck here in this Houston environment that seems to not be able to get anything done. Get him out of there. Cincinnati at 28. The Bungles are a lot better this year. I love Joe Burrow. I think they're a competitive team. It just they don't really have the firepower to compete with a lot of these teams. 27, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins has been absolutely horrible. It's sad that this was our first guaranteed NFL contract, and that's how it's going to go down in history.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're disappointing, especially with how I projected them earlier in the season. 26 Dallas, we talked about them. Plug, go watch the pod from last week. But they are just terrible, and Dak definitely uh, killed a lot of their playoff, even Super Bowl contention chances.
Yeah.
Denver at 25. Drew Lock hype train seems to have run into a brick wall,
Yeah.
and their defense is
Not good.
incredibly overrated. Exactly. And 24 Atlanta. I mean, there's not much I can say except 28-3 continues to haunt them like Sam Darnold's ghost.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
23 to. Okay, I don't know math, but I'm just gonna go until you.
16.
Okay,
16.
23. Okay, 23. We got the football team. I'm very impressed. Kyle Allen absolutely dotted up the Cowboys, but it's not saying a lot because I think they're on pace to have one of the worst defenses in NFL history. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate them playing spoiler. So good job. 22
Yep.
of the Eagles. I know it seems low, but it hurts.
Yeah.
We beat the third worst team in football by one. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
Because we already talked about it, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
21, we got the Patriots, which is a lot lower than I expected at the beginning of the season, even though I wasn't totally high on Cam Newton. They got like stomped by the 49ers, and I thought the 49ers are kind of done after Bosa and
Jimmy G.
yeah. It was Armstead. It was either Armstead or Solomon Thomas. Like when most of their D line is done, and they somehow only allowed 6 points to the Patriots. So, and they didn't. They brought in Stidham. They benched.
Yeah, they did.
It's getting bad. It's getting very bad. 20. We have the Chargers. We both gave Justin Herbert like a C minus draft grade, and he is proving us wrong. Kind of the front runner for offensive rookie of the year, and
Yep.
even without Eckler, they're doing fine. So I'll give credit. There's many wins as the Patriots and the Eagles. So yeah. Okay, 19. I have the Panthers. Lost to the Saints, but they've overall been a pretty good team. Teddy Bridgewater, I put him sort of high on our quarterback rating. I was like around this, like top like 18. And
I
you're
thought
like,
you
oh,
were
why is Teddy Bridgewater so high? I think going into this week 8, he's like top 5 in passing yards. So
Yeah.
he's my guy.
Yep.
Okay, 18 got the Lions. Matt Stafford, another guy that I appreciate a little too much. I don't know why, but I mean he's a good quarterback. They have a good offense. The defense kind of sucks, but they came back against the Falcons, so I'll give credit. And 17, the Dolphins. Tua is coming in this week. I think that's kind of weird because Fitzpatrick has been overall really respectable. Like he has done his yearly win a couple games and then just stop playing routine. But I mean, overall, they're exceeding expectations a little bit. I don't think that'd be a 500 around this time of the season, but 16, the Raiders, 3-3. They got dotted up, but geez, a vintage performance from Tom Brady. But I mean, overall, they beat the Saints. They beat the Chiefs. So I mean, they've had impressive wins, but overall, they're at the middle of the pack. Like,
Yep.
because they are they have very high highs and pathetic lows like last year. Speaking of which, at number 15, the Chicago Bears. I mean, this is
It's
a
low
little
for
jump.
Nikki Six.
We got 3-3 to 5-2. So we're getting the good teams record wise. I mean, I obviously I like Nick Foles. I think everybody in Philadelphia does, but he had no help from his line. Like he was under attack the entire game from the Rams defense. And I mean the Rams just outplayed them on both sides of the ball. Like their defense, like the Bears defense too wasn't great. So I would give credit to LA. And 14, the Saints, they beat the
Are we
Panthers.
going 8 at a time? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were doing. Okay, I'll
Okay.
stop here. The Saints 4-2. No Michael Thomas again, but I mean they're still. I mean they're proving the doubters wrong by saying it's just Michael Thomas and Drew Brees slants, and they're still a good team. So I'll give credit. And you can go into yours right now for the
All
next
right.
however minute.
So, like you said, football team at 23. I actually think this is an underrated team. I think, still, I mean, there's an argument to be made that they are a contender to win the division, but their D line scares me. 22, us. We suck.
Yeah,
Just say it. Yeah. It's okay. We'll beat Danucci. 21, I have the Chargers. I like watching this team a lot. I don't think this is a great team. I don't think they're the best coached team as much as I loved Anthony Lynn on Hard Knocks. And I think their defense could use some work, especially in the secondary where Derwin James is missing, but we'll see. Number 20, I have New England. I think something is wrong with Cam Newton. I think there is some coronavirus after effects, possibly. Not to, bring up conspiracies, but I think, he does not look the same as he did in the beginning, so we'll see. Number 19, I have Miami. Tua's back. They're fine. They're better than they should be, but you know what? They're not going to be a playoff team. Let's be real here. Number 18, I have Carolina. I love Teddy Two Gloves as much as you, even though I don't think he's as good as you do. But this team is not fantastic until McCaffrey gets back. I think that's going to be a huge piece. They're fun, though. Again, another fun team to watch. Number 17, I have Detroit. I really don't know why I have this team this high. I really don't. But they played great against Atlanta this week and had a great game against Arizona. Matt Stafford is always going to be good, so solid. Number 16, the Raiders. I think they got caught in a situation with just, the Bucs having this huge bye week, basically bye week after the Thursday night football game and a long rest to play them. But I think they're a good team, and I think, in the not loaded AFC, they can contend for the 7 seed. Number 15, I have the Colts. I hate watching this team.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers is done, I feel like, after this year. But you know what? Maybe they'll make a run at this division. Who knows? Maybe Tennessee will slip. And number 14, finish it off, I have the Cleveland Browns. I have slowly hopped off the Baker train, as I mentioned on, I think, 2 pods ago. He has been god-awful so far this season. But you know what? They've still been producing offensively. They have an easy schedule. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go 13-6 just so I can go through the top 5 once you get there.
Okay.
13, I have the Browns. I mean, I don't hate Baker as much as you, but I know it's
love Baker. I just think he's bad.
I know it's the Bengals, but after that pick, he was basically unstoppable, and he carried them to a win, which is kind of pathetic. But the Browns have 5 wins through 7 weeks, so that's wild. So, I mean, I would love to see them come in as like a 7 seed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Browns. 12 of the Colts. I know you hate them. I kind of hate them too, but their defense is really good. They have good enough weapons, even though Phillip Rivers sucks. But that they were on a bye, so hope maybe they can come back and not be infuriating. So at 11, the Niners completely exposed the Patriots. But overall, I mean, with the injuries, I can't see them being like a top team in the NFC, but they're still really good. 10, 10's the Bills. They are the most frustrating team in the league for me right now, other than the Eagles, obviously, but that goes without saying. But Jesus, all 18 of their points against the Jets were off the leg of Tyler Bass.
Legend.
So their offense is just non-existent, even with the addition of Diggs, and Cole Beasley's been good, and Josh Allen through the first couple of weeks was somehow an MVP candidate, which is weird to think because it doesn't seem like that right now. But the Bills, just because the rest of the division is kind of below average, I think they'll probably still win the division, but I don't see them going anywhere beyond that. So at 9, the Rams, I just talked about them a little bit earlier with the Bears. Even though they're the bone jerseys are trash, the Rams are a good team. Jared Goff is not looking terrible. Their offense is overall really good. Their defense is debatably better than their offense. I'm not sure because the receiving core is either Robert Woods goes off or Cooper Kupp goes off. It's never both of them. But they're a really good team. I enjoy watching them. And the same could be said for the Cardinals, who beat the Seahawks. who I still say they're coming out of the NFC. That's what I said at the beginning of the year, and probably gonna happen. I'm not sure, but yeah, Kyler's really impressing me. I didn't think he would take that much of a jump, but give credit. Their defense is spotty, but they have good enough players. Even though they lost Chandler Jones this season, like pretty sure Isaiah Simmons had that pick to seal the win. So I'll give credit to them. And then 7, the Seahawks. Just talked about them. Russell Wilson, still the MVP. Tyler Lockett had a great game. TK had a great game. Defense could use a little bit of help, but they did get who they get? Everton Griffin, the Cowboys.
Yeah,
For sure.
which
No, they got Dunlap from the Bengals. So
yeah,
I switched it up.
which will help less. But
Yeah. I mean, the Seahawks. They got help that they needed, and they're already still a contending team. So yeah. At 6 for the Packers, 5-1. They beat the Texans. Pissed off Aaron Rodgers is terrifying. I mean, I know it's the Texans, but I mean, just seeing him go off at this age, which is something I can say about Tom Brady in a second. But
yeah,
Packers, even though their defense is aggravating and Aaron Jones doesn't seem to be interested in playing football, but Packers are still the front runner for the NFC North by a mile because you know how I feel about the Bears, but you can go into your 13-6.
okay. So 13, I have New Orleans. I again hate watching this team. I think Drew Brees is definitely in the later stretch of his career, and it's not looking so great. But they're still the Saints. They're still going to be a contender in the NFC with how together I feel like it is. Number 12, I have the Bears. This is probably my favorite team to watch outside of the Eagles. I'm going to be dead honest. You know how much I love Nick Foles. That defense is just ferocious, especially that D line with Mac. And yeah, I love that team. I really do. 11, I have the Niners. I think a great comeback this week, or the past couple weeks after the loss to us and the loss to Miami. I feel like, Kyle Shanahan has done a great coaching job, almost hiding Jimmy G and working that running game despite losing Mostert with JaMychal Hasty and Tevin Coleman and all these guys. So we'll see. 10, I've got the Bills. The Bills, as laughable as they are sometimes, are fun to watch. Josh Allen is still going to continue, I think, to get MVP buzz despite his performance in recent games, just due to his running ability. And I think Stefon Diggs still opens up a lot of things for him. I think they have the AFC North almost locked down. Number 9, I have Arizona. I think this team is a little overrated after that win over Seattle, just to be dead honest. I think, it was one game, and it was a division game at that against the Seahawks defense that was, playing awful. But at the same time, this is a good team. I do feel like Kyler Murray has taken a huge step forward after a rookie season where I was a little disappointed with his performance. So I feel like definitely a solid contender, especially in the NFC. Number 8 are the Rams, completely jumping expectations of everybody. This is a team, like you said, that can really get to you on defense. Their corners are a lot better than I thought they were. They really lock down. I know it's the Bears receivers, but they locked down the Bears receivers last night. And so, very solid team. Number 7, I have Seattle. I hate their defense as much as you do, but at the same time, Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. He's going to do his magic. I can still see this team coming out of the NFC like I said they would before the season started. And number 6, I have the Packers. Disappointing game against the Bucs the other week, but they came back nice this week. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Yeah.
Okay. So my top 5 consists of four AFC teams, one NFC, which is probably saying a lot, but 5, the Bucks. They exposed the Raiders. Their offense is really good. Even they won up Chris Godwin, but the legend himself, AB, is coming in a few weeks, so hopefully that's fun. And then the defense surprisingly really good. Their secondary solid. Their there's no like major issue with this team. So I mean, they could definitely give Green Bay and Seattle a run for their money. But yeah, I didn't think they would be disappointing, but I didn't think they would be as good as they are so far. Four of Tennessee, even though I started in fantasy. Steven Gostkowski completely choked it. That field goal at the end, but they really impressed me. I think, oh god, this just hurts for me to say. I think I had the Texans doing a lot better than them, but they're really good. Like once AJ Brown came back, he's been great, and Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill is proving that he's not just a function of handing the ball off to Derrick Henry every play, and the defense is overall pretty solid. So I mean, and that they're definitely winning the AFC South because it's the Texans, the Colts, and the Jaguars. So there's not much competition. Number three of the Ravens. I mean, they could definitely go down if they lose this week against the Steelers, but still a great team. Great on both sides of the ball. They could use some more offensive weapons, but overall, I have no major complaints. Number two, the Steelers. At the beginning of the season, I said they would be like 11-5, 12-4, and I'd be like, what? Like, I'm not gonna call anybody out, but some people have definitely underrated them, and I mean, I might be overrating them, putting them at two over the Ravens, over the Bucks, but I don't know. Even though Claypool had a .8 points in fantasy last week, it's very aggravating.
Dang.
Their offense has been great. Deontay Johnson, Juju, Eric Ebron, James Conner. Like, I mean, Big Ben isn't playing out of his mind, but he's playing good enough, which is what they needed last year when they had Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges. So if their offense is good enough, their defense is gonna still be elite. So yeah, number one, the Chiefs beat the Broncos. Even though that loss against the Raiders kind of hurt, they're still the best team in football, and I don't see them stopping anytime soon.
All right. So, I mean, I literally have the same exact one as you, but I'll go through. Number 5, I have Tampa Bay. I just been surprised how much I love this defense, man. I mean, the way those linebackers, Devin White and what's his name? Devontae Davis, yeah, been all over the field. Tom looks way more rejuvenated. I thought they were incredibly overrated after the past couple weeks. I thought they, got shown that a little bit in that Bears game, but the way they've rebounded has been absolutely fantastic. I think that is a great team. Number 4, I have the Titans, and I mean, this team is exactly the team they were in the playoffs. I think everybody's surprised. I think Derrick Henry has a legitimate case for the MVP award, as shocking as that sounds. Yeah. I mean, the man is just tearing apart defenses in a way a running back hasn't since Le'Veon Bell did in 2016. Like, it's ridiculous. And that defense is just as solid. I mean, those corners and, again, their linebacker core, that same one we talked about shutting down Baltimore, has really taken over the league. Yeah. Number 3, I have Baltimore. Lamar Jackson hasn't looked the same. I don't know if something's up with his arm. I think that's definitely a possibility, but something is up with him. I think that team slips a little bit of a spot for me, but it's still going to be a formidable contender. And the addition of Patrick Queen has been fantastic for them, as well as those rookie receivers and Devin Duvernay, and Mark Andrews has been good too. Number 2, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers, like you. I thought this team was a little overhyped in the offseason, tiny bit, but they've been absolutely fantastic. The defense is phenomenal. I mean, we're the only team that's scored that many points on them. I think that they just had an off day, but I think, there's really not a hole in that defense or even that team. Their wide receiver core is fantastic. Ben Roethlisberger is playing exactly like he did before the break, which is shocking to me. They are definitely deserving of their spot. And number 1, I still have the Chiefs. I think, we overreacted a little bit as a NFL community after that Raiders loss. But this is still the same Kansas City Chiefs. This is still the same Patrick Mahomes. I think their defense is legitimately better than last year.
Yeah.
I think they added pieces. Chris Jones is balling out on that D line. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.